everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some Bant Poison here. Bant Poison did well in a challenge recently, but we're going to try to look at it as though it moves towards rotation. So you'll see in here right away that we don't have March, the blue March that targets a ton of our creatures, which is a really good kind of one-shot card that goes along with the Rot Priest really well. Or we have Fading Hope. Instead, we're replacing that with Rona's Vortex, a card that will be sticking around. A significantly worse version of the card, in my opinion, because we don't necessarily will ever have the black for this. But this deck does require some kind of early one-drop or some early one-mana spell to get things out of the way so we can connect with a card like the Jawbone Duelist. It does have Double Strike and Toxic 1. If you're a little unsure how Toxic works, maybe you're new, this isn't the most popular deck of all time. So Toxic is separate intervals with this Double Strike, so Duelist will actually apply to Toxic because it'll hit once in the first strike phase, and then the Toxic one will apply, and then it'll go to normal combat damage in that spot, and then the extra Toxic will apply along with the Duelist. So whenever we have a card like Skrelv also applies Toxic 1 to a creature. So essentially, Jawbone Duelist will say Toxic 2, and then it'll hit your opponent for the first strike, deal 2 Toxic, and then it'll hit them again, dealing 2 more. So this kind of works as a really strong, I don't want to say combo because it's not a combo, but it's kind of like a tag team, a duo, you know. They work very well here. It's kind of the same thing with this Ascendant as well. This also applies Toxic 1, and then also gives the creature flying, so it can give this evasion. But here's our list. Realistically, you want to start off with either a Rot Priest or kind of both of these in hand if you get the option, and some amount of protection, whether that's holding up a Bring the End or like Serum Snare to bounce things like Temporary Lockdown, which is actually very important and things that we get to do in some of the matches today. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and hop into the games. Hopefully the games can explain themselves a little bit. If you've already seen Toxic, you already know the game plan here. But outside of that, let's go ahead and dive in. And if you all enjoy my content, please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. I mean, my opponent goes first. Our hand's pretty solid. Probably supposed to play the chorus first. But maybe it's play... With that, I'm going to play Rot Priest and just try to protect it with these Bring the Ends. Nice. Here. Combat. Poison. Very cool. Now we have double counter spell up. We have a spell snare or serum snare. No. Their combo. I get March just Rot Priest. I don't really care. I gotta keep them from like bullying me. But sure. That is Temporary Lockdown. They return a spell. Sure. If they have second Spell Pierce, then so be it, dude. I don't know how I'm supposed to beat that regardless. Sure. I could counter this, but I would like to hold my counter spell for other things that are a little bit more important. At least I think so. I think they just have like things like Faithful Mending and stuff. So I'm not going to hold my counter spell up forever. I'd much rather be aggressive here because I only have so much time to get this game over with. Yeah. And then if this works, then my Bring the End is going to be actually worth something here. Green. This one. Spell Piercing, interacting with that. Now, if we target a creature, we add an additional 2 poison on the stack. Sure. We'll also let the Temporary Lockdown probably resolve, to be honest with you. Because this will be a hard counter spell, but we can always just like bounce the lockdown, hopefully. I guess if they have Spell Pierce, it's going to be tough. But if I try to counter it and they Spell Pierce, then I lose. Most likely. But if I allow it to resolve and then I try to snare it, it'll be fine. Could argue that we're supposed to like pick up a Rot Priest. Sure. One. You're back. Yes. Attack. Now if they target a creature, we can win. I'm not going to play Duelist. I'm going to make sure I can add this Mirrex or something. Not having a creature that can target is a little tough. Wow, we get there. Very cool. Even if they would have went for the combo, we'd also have to bring the in to counter the combo piece, and then we win that way, obviously. But they also didn't hit any of it, so we didn't have anything to fear. They would have had to done a lot more, but being forced to interact with me until I close the game out is tough for them. Our hand's painful. I'll tell you that much. 2 out of card waste is pretty tough. But that's the thing of best of one. Like if it's a control match or something, it'll be fine. But thinking that it's going to be mono red, it's going to be a lot worse. I don't really want to keep pinging myself, but I fear don't have much of an option. Ooh. Grove Hive. Because if we can hopefully get poison turned on, or this ability turned on where I have lifelink, might be worth it. I can use this and to deal damage to a creature. Maybe. It'll be a little off. Phoenix Chick, well, okay. Maybe it won't be. Enchantment or 4? This is an enchantment. What do we got? What do we have, opponent? Twist Spear, okay. Electing to bump the Phoenix Chick, which can't block, by the way. Nice. A little part of me is just on the chain of customize deals damage equal to number of creature control to target creature or planeswalker. So I can have this just hit this Swift Spear for 2. Or do I go for like a win? Hit 2, do this. Have 4. There's no way to get proliferate. I think I hold up the interaction actually. This is also instant speed, not really a whole lot of reasons to go too crazy here. Because if things get too crazy, I can always bounce this, or I can destroy evil it. Because it'll have more than 4 toughness. Because it is target creature with toughness 4 or greater. It doesn't care about power. And also bounces Phoenix Chick. Could consider doing it to the Kamano because it'll set the Kamano back 2 turns. It'll deal 1 more damage and buff a creature again, but... Or there's that Kamano. Sure. Sure. Uh-huh. They holding priority? I think they're holding priority for the Switch Stalker Frenzy. So. Interesting. So we allow that prowess trigger to happen. And then I get to just do this. Then I can bounce this Kamano. Sure. Turn, I take another damage here. Attack. Oh boy. I just don't know if my life gain will be enough to get there. We'll see. We'll try to shoot this Phoenix Chick in response to maybe a target of a spell. It doesn't have prowess, so it's not like they can just play with fire me and turn it on. They're at 7, I'm at 9. Obviously, life total doesn't matter that much to me. Alright, well. This is 5. I do this, make 2 creatures, I can gain it back, but I just don't think it's worth. Like, just slow them down, buff my team on this next turn. They can't block, so it's a little bit awkward. Wish I'd take one here. 1/3 and gets toxic, but they can't block, so it's not like something I can really do much to. Should I just do it now then? Or should I look to bring my Mirrors up? Like make a token here, because then I have 4 plus this. Sure. Maybe they'll think it's interaction. Them being stuck on mana has helped us out so much already. They only have to do 9 here because of my hive, by the way. And again, this can't block, so this is kind of a soft creature here. What do we got? Mono red. You have 5 cards. This Kimono you haven't quite been able to replay. I need you to not remove my stuff. Interesting. Sure. 5, 6, 7. They only need to deal 2 more damage, which is pretty possible. We hope they just play Kimono here. Actually, can I even do it? Man, if you have it, just slam the spell. Yeah, you got it. You're a big winner, guy. Look at you. Like, I don't know what they were waiting on. Like, I have the best card in my deck. Alright, don't need to draw more lands. I played 22 of those for a reason. Knock it off. Sure. It's actually a fantastic draw, by the way. I'm in there. What do you think they do when I show them the 3rd Rot Priest? Man, if I could still play March, I would just... This is 6 right here. If this is in play, it's 9. Like, isn't that crazy? Double. Hard part about being a deck that needs to target, that's for sure. This isn't a spell, so it doesn't really trigger our ability here. This one. Okay. They said, I have only spells to target. I've had enough of this already. Very cool. Maul. Like, almost fine. We can keep this, and we'll just play Skrelv into Duelist. Then I'll probably just throw a Chorus on the bottom. So then we're probably looking at this Serum Snare. But we have to wait on our opponent to decide whether they're keeping or not. They decide they're keeping. Chorus to the bottom. 12. 12. Nice. Nice. We're in there. Nope. I have protection. Could attack, but like this gets so much more value if I just don't. Filter out. Maybe not the best card of all time. That's for sure. This one. If they go to remove it now. Interesting. I let him? Yeah, I'll let him. It's got 1st strike. I don't care. Play land. Play the Chorus. Turn. Yeah. Looks like we're the old-fashioned flash deck. I don't know why I said old-fashioned. This one? Yeah, it is. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say blue. The Chorus can go ahead and die. Like, we don't care. We get another token back. I just want to get some of my poison started here. And then this will die. And then now I can do a situation where I just remove this. And now I proliferate. Now they're up to 5. Now they're in a weird spot. Because now even if they block my Duelist, I can pump it and it'll 1st strike it out of the way. So it's a little bit weird for them, for sure. Poison becoming a pretty difficult deck at times for other decks to deal with. Sure. Get rid of Skrelv. That is fine by me. Let's put this hive in play. Attack. They're like, dude, what's this guy doing? Oh. My first strike strikes again. Yep. I think they were like, wow, why would they block? Did they draw a card for conceding there, by the way? I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, I had a good time. You let me go first, and my hand was good. Oh, yeah. A Botanical Sanctum into Rot Priest on turn 1. My opponent has Link. Cut down my Rot Priest, take 1 poison, and then I cry. Oh, it was close. It was close, chat. Raise attack for 1 here. Because I can bounce it, or I can grow it out of range of a cut down. Obviously, go for a third, still gets it here, but puff, dude. Combat. Huh? Dissolves, they say. Course, could be a temporary lockdown, but we do have a bounce spell, and they don't have blue so far to threaten the fact that they can. Ooh, another tap lane. That is not good, opponent. Sure. This one. I do have 2 poison lined up pretty much at any point with these serum snares, so I can target a creature and then proliferate, and because of Rot Priest, I'll make another poison. So they're in theory at 6 right now, at minimum at 5. Here comes another land. Here comes a wedding announcement. And good-natured serum snare, interestingly enough, does not just say creatures. This one, I had lethal. It's okay, chat. If you don't know how I had lethal, I could have pumped one of them, gave it the poison or toxic. I think I could still do it regardless here. Yeah, I can. Poison, pick this up, proliferate. We don't lose out. We don't like lose the game because I'm an idiot. But we tried. I forgot the problem with this card is it can't target our own spell. But yeah, I missed it a second ago. Well, I guess with that, I actually can't. Did I miss it then? Because I can't target my own creature with this. But either way, I had the ability to target my Rot Priest when I went to combat, which this gives it additional toxic. So Rot Priest would have done 3 that turn. I might have missed it with the fact that this doesn't work, but I think I messed it up. Either way, I end up serum snaring and winning if it wasn't lethal regardless, but I go first, and I have Skrelvin the Duelist. Yes, sir. If Skrelvin the Duelist survives, it is so hard, especially on the play. It's so hard to kind of lose those games sometimes. Especially if Skrelv doesn't get answered on one, because that means Duelist is fine. But mono red. My nemesis. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a turn. I think giving this Duelist some indestructible shenanigans will actually be really nice here. And I just don't want to fall into the trap of... Ooh. Slick shot, show off. Sure. If I find a land, I'm going to start doing cheeky stuff to try to race them, and I miss a land. Well, I'm at 17. My opponent... I think I'm supposed to do the pressure here. I think I'm supposed to go all in here. Because this, realistically, if you think about it, the way that they deal damage, they're at 6 now. And if you do it in Toxic, I'm at 7-ish. I think, right? There's 25 in my HP, I'm at 8. If you think of it that way. And I can always bounce this Slick Shot show off if it's something like Pomp, Twin Inferno nonsense. Sure. I'd rather them tap out here. This one? No. We really need a land. Taking 9 here. Sure. Down to 6. Not looking great, chat. What do you find land? It's actually huge. And now I have to set up the duelist kind of lethal turn. And hope it's not just... Oh, boy. Interesting. Isn't that supposed to be Skrelv attacking instead? I think it makes it so much harder if I do it that way. The Skrelv could have put him at 5, and this will put him at 6. And then I might be able to bounce the other, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah, let's see it. Could have argued playing the other duelist, but I think having the snares is better. Wish I had Rona's, or in other words, a Fading Hope. That'd be super sick. Sure. Go for it. This one. That one. Pick it up. That's all I got. And then I Lawrence escape my duelist if I can. What do we have, opponent? I swear, this is just Moss's rage. Do some nonsense. I'm gonna be upset. We got. Yeah. Uh-huh. A tough one there, huh? I don't think this works, by the way. This one. It doesn't work. Unless it counts me giving it hexproof, but pretty sure with hexproof you can target your own things. I don't think it works, but who knows, maybe my opponent believes it does. Sure. I'm pretty positive Lawrence escape doesn't work. Yeah, I would say, see, it doesn't work. But they didn't play with fire me, so I'm alive at 1. Brutal. I just can't get the last little bit in, huh? That's tough, dude. I would have done the Skrelv activation. I would have died, I guess. That's so brutal. Sure. Good game. Obviously, I could play this, but they just play their flyer and get to hit me. That's tough, dude. I guess. I mean, having a creature with Toxic right away is like pretty fine. I mean, all of my creatures do, but having a Skrelv specifically is really nice. Having a Rot Priest in particular is really nice. But I am attacking here. With the Lord's Escape held up, I'm not holding the Skrelv back. Next turn, we'll have these Brinians be up and actually able to hard counter as well. Because of how my Skrelv and Rot Priest are in there. What do we got, opponent? I have a Rot Priest. You're just random go for, or not go for throats. Fading Hope spells are not necessarily valuable. Okay, my opponent will pass their turn. They played their turn 1 and they said, you know what? I thought about it. I don't want to play anymore. 2 more poison. And I'll just say go. I'll hold up Counterspell on the Lawrence Escape, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think we might need to link Amazon to our opponent because they might be buying a new phone. They might have threw it in the toilet, you know? But until then, I'll be back. Okay, my opponent is... Does it make him concede here? No? I guess we'll go through one more entire turn cycle of waiting for my opponent's time out of the game, and we'll win. Mono blue, the fading hope, the threats matchup slash counter matchup, and they fall just short, considering like we got a rot priest in on their turn 2 or our turn 2 where they couldn't do anything. So all right, well, that's gonna do it, I think. Please just do it. Okay. I mean, if not this time around, we had to charge the mites to make 2 more creatures, and then we Lauren's escape, and then we win regardless. But wow, interesting. All right, here we are. We're gonna talk about deck a little. I don't know how to feel about it. This deck is a deck that, when obviously you can say this about any deck, but I think poison in particular kind of needs it a little bit more than other decks. But when you're drawing well, or at least starting off with either Rot Priest or Skrelv and Jawbone Duelist, like if you start with these 2 or just a Rot Priest in general and maybe ways to protect it, whether that is Bring End or Serum Snare. Also, I put this in as 3 of, forgetting that it can't target my own creature. That's a big problem. So maybe we just like, I don't know. It's like fine to get creatures out of the way, but like at minimum probably 2 here and then maybe 3 here. I don't know. But when you start off with the Rot Priest or these, it feels incredibly good and very difficult for your opponent to end up beating. If you're against control, realistically, you're looking for this card and hoping they don't have a get lost right away for it, because they're just not going to be able to constantly over and over and over and over again get rid of your mites. And it's control, so most likely they're not putting on the pressure enough to like punish you for losing life for the hive for so long. But other than that, I mean, I think the games kind of explain themselves. We were very vulnerable to like mono red aggro, and I went ahead. There was an Esper deck, but they were waiting until their clock started and then made a game action and then passed their turn, and then they would wait till the clock started and then make a game action. So I just cut it because it's just like, I don't want to sit through it. I don't think any of you guys want to sit through it. I could be wrong, but when players do that, it's just like, I gotta edit these things, bro. I'm just skipping it. I don't care. My rank's not that important to me. But other than that, it was fine. Also, filter out. Probably won't talk about it in the intro. It's really here for like the temporary lockdowns, leyline bindings, things like that against those type of matchups, or matchups where they're putting a lot of kind of permanence in play, like artifacts and things, like synthesizer and whatnot. So it's very nice to potentially have this. I haven't seen any deck really ever play this, so I just wanted to try it and see if it was worth just throwing back in the pile of bulk cards that we own. But outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed the video anyway, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.